Panhard and Levassor Ford Control Cab Phaeton by Keil 1901. No other single manufacturer can claim to have had greater influence on motor car design and more dominance and success in the infant days of the motor industry and motorsport than Panhard Levassor. In 1886 Rand Panhard and Mile Levassor bought into a French company producing bandsaws and other woodworking tools. In that year Levassor's friend, Sarrazin, acquired French rights to build German Daimler cars under license. Sarrazin died in 1887 and Levassor married his widow, leaving Panhard and Levassor to continue motor car manufacture. By 1892 they had settled on the classic Panhard design, Le Système Panhard, which was to become the standard of the industry with a forward-mounted engine, transmission amidships and driven rear wheels. The company was right at the forefront on early motorsport, notably in the great French city-to-city races and inextricably associated with such European motoring pioneers, society notables and sportsmen as the Honorable C.S. Rolls, Chev. R. Deneuve, Maurice Farman, Gerardo and Charon. Notable racing victories included the first recognized major motor race, Paris-Bordeaux-Paris, in June 1895 when Mile Levassor drove his Panhard to first place. In the 1898 Marseille-Nice race Panhard were first and second and claimed victory in the Paris-Bordeaux race and Paris-Amsterdam-Paris races that year. Gerardo drove a 6-horsepower car to victory in 1899 in the Paris-Rouen-Paris race and in the very first Gordon Bennett Cup race in 1900 Charon, Gerardo and Chevalier Deneuve seized a triumphant first, second and third result for Panhard. In short, Panhard dominated the very first decade of motorsport in Europe. Little wonder therefore that businessman and gentleman adventurer, the Honourable C.S. Rolls should favour the Panhard Levassor mark and indeed become the British agent prior to establishing his own motor manufacturing business. Panhard's international agents were hand-picked and their customer lists at the turn of the century read like a who's who in Europe. This exceptionally rare 4-cylinder car with cab Phaeton coachwork features, exceptionally, a Ford control design with electrically operated gear change. The 4-cylinder, vertical, inline engine, in accordance with Le Système Panhard, has bore and stroke of 80 mm by 120 mm, displacing 2.4 liters. It drives through a cone clutch to a 4-speed gearbox with final drive by side chains. Braking is provided by band brakes operating on the rear wheels, combined with spoon rear brakes operating on the tires. The handsome cab-style coachwork was a factory option and this vehicle features Ford control, separating the chauffeur from the owner who would sit snugly in the handsome cab rear, protected by a leather apron and a drop-down windscreen. Car number 624 was delivered, according to factory records, on 22 April to M. Thory of Avenue Friedland, presumably in Paris. At some stage early in the car's life the steering controls were moved to a more conventional position, enabling the driver to steer the car from within the handsome cabin, generally updating the overall appearance of the vehicle. In this form the car was for many years displayed in a French museum and later acquired by veteran car club past president Brian Moore before changing hands at auction in London in July 1989. The new owner, to his credit, chose to reinstate the original Ford control driving position and that is how the car is presented today. The coachwork is finished in black livery in the snug rear quarters furnished with black buttoned and pleated upholstery, with red cloth side panels. Passenger comforts are enhanced by railway carriage-style drop-down side windows, a vanity mirror and an at-track for parasol or umbrella, while ventilators in the roof at the rear provide extra comfort. Driving equipment includes oil side lamps and an oil rear lamp. A boa constrictor horn gives audible warning of approach and minimal driver's instrumentation includes an Aries pressure gauge and a Smith's ammeter. The donut-shaped wheel beneath the steering wheel operates the electrical gear change, the clutch operating like a pre-selector, giving noiseless and smooth gear changes. Further passenger comforts are provided by semi-elliptic leaf front springs and full elliptic rear springs. The car sits on Michelin pneumatic tires, 860 mm by 85 mm to the front and 1000 mm by 65 mm to the rear. This car returned to the UK in 2004. joining the Ward Brothers collection following a period in Dutch ownership, during which it took part in the centenary London to Brighton veteran car run in 1996. Daniel Ward drove this car to Brighton 2 or 3 years ago, reporting on its driving simplicity and its rapid turn of speed. Arriving first at Preston Park, he was just pipped into second place at the finish line on Madeira Drive, nevertheless a remarkably quick run for such an early car. This car was chosen for exhibition at the prestigious Pebble Beach Concours Elegance in California in 2008, drawing much interest and comment in the veteran lineup. Four-cylinder Panhards rarely come to the open market. Those that do rarely feature such dramatic coachwork or fascinating configuration as this car. Here is a car from Europe's premier manufacturer of 1901, with Parisian-styled coachwork, eminently suitable for parading in the Bois de Boulogne, and yet a car capable of exciting performance on the open road. The car comes with a history file, including copied extracts from Panhard Levassor build ledgers, old MO certificates and a Swansea V5C registration document. This car has been officially dated by the Veteran Car Club, certificate number 1955.